besties, welcome back. And I should say welcome back to myself, because where's she been? This year's been chaotic. It's been a lot. I feel like I haven't taken a breath since like February. Hasn't been a whole lot of time for reading, but this is something that I enjoy doing and I want to be more consistent with it. So here I am. We're gonna do it. Today, we're gonna talk about my September TBR. Now, is it September 5th? Yes. Have I already finished a book? Yes. Am I a good bit of way through another book? Also, yes. But I have a very ambitious TBR this month. Very ambitious. I'm talking 15 books. Explain a little why my TBR is so big this month. So I am part of the Bookish Swifty Club on Instagram, and for their Bookstagram anniversary, they are hosting a Free the Vault readathon. Sorry, my mother's texting me. Anyway, so for their Bookstagram anniversary, they are hosting a Free the Vault readathon. We are all sorted into different teams based on Taylor's song names. I am on team I Think He Knows. But the premise is to read a book that starts with every letter of that song title. Okay, I have 2 books on here that are not for this readathon specifically. So I think I'll start with those 2, and then I'll go through letter by letter and tell you what I'm planning on reading. The first book is actually the group book for the book club, for the Bookish Swifty Club this month. And since it was already on my TBR, and I can get extra points for my team if I read it, and is on Kindle Unlimited, I decided to read it. And that is The Gilded Wolves by Roshani Chokshi. This has been on my TBR, man, for years. And I'm about 25% through this one right now. I'm still kind of like in the exposition phase, so I don't really know how I'm feeling about it. But this is like a heist story. Oh my god. Not the lesses. Sorry, there's car drama in the group chat. I put on Do Not Disturb, so let's roll. So The Gilded Wolves is a heist story set in like a fantasy version of France. That's like really all I know about it. That's a common theme that you will see. I don't know a lot about most of these books. The second book that's not related to the readathon is Atomic Habits by James Clear. This book is one I'm actually reading for work. We're doing like a little book club situation, so I am hoping to finish this month. I'm like annotating it because they all know I'm a reader, so I'm like, I gotta impress them, you know. So y'all know what Atomic Habit is about. It's like making small changes to make a big impact over time in your life. Amazing. Let's get into I Think He Knows. All of these books, there's so many. So first up, In Case You Missed It by Lindsay Kelk. This is a romance. I don't know the specifics of it. I bought this several years ago at a secondhand bookstore, and you know, you're just in a bookstore and you see something, you're like, and you briefly scan it and you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get this, and then it sits on your shelf for 7 years. That's pretty much what this was. Moving on to the letter T. For the letter T, I have chosen The Titan's Curse. This is the 3rd book in the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. I've read the first 2 this year. I've never read this before. Y'all know, Greek mythology, summer camp, preteens, buzzwords. But I've been really enjoying these, and I'd like to finish the series this year if at all possible, because I mean, like, it's short. They're only 5 books, and the books themselves are short and they're easy to read. So I would really like to get that done, because I have a good time with the mythology. It's just fun. So that is for the letter T. For H, I have this book on Kindle, so I don't have it physically. But that is House of Salt and Sorrows by Aaron A. Craig. This is a fantasy book that's been on my TBR for a couple years, and I don't know what it's about, but I'm really in a fantasy mood. It's the fact that it's September and then it should be cold outside and that I'm drinking pumpkin drinks, you know, like I need to be reading fantasy under a blanket. For the second eye, I'm doing The Inheritance or Orchidia Divina by Zoraida Cordova. This is a magical realism book about a family. The matriarch of this family, when she dies, gets turned into like a tree, and there's just like a bunch of mysterious things going on with the family. They're trying to figure it out. I feel like this will be kind of similar in the vibes, at least, to, what is that called? The Sorrows of Ava Lavender, is that what it is? I feel like there's another word in there, but I feel like it will be similar vibes to this with the magical realism, generational story. I hope it is, because I really like that book, and I feel like I'm gonna really like this. I feel like it's gonna be vibey and fun for the autumn. For In, I will be reading Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is a dark academia, like secret society book. I'm gonna be reading this on Kindle because it's on KU. So I'm unsure how I'm gonna feel about this because I don't really love dark academia. For the first K, Clara and the Sun by Kazuo Ishiguro. This is like an artificial intelligence, like sci-fi situation. So I think this is gonna be big on like humanity, what makes a person, all of that stuff. This is one of those books where I just genuinely don't know what possessed me to buy this, because this is like, I don't read things like this, like ever. And I couldn't tell you when I added this to my TBR, but it's been on my shelf for at least a year, and it's time to read it. It is. So I'm gonna get it off my shelf. I'm gonna read it. What's next? For the second H, I will be reading Hotel Magnifique by Emily J. Taylor. It's been comped to The Night Circus, so I feel like it's gonna be a very atmospheric, vibey read. Maybe not heavy on the plot, you know, but heavy on the vibes. Okay, for the E in He, I think he knows. This is the one I've already completed, and that is X's and O's by Amy Lee. This is a romance book. Basically, this girl moves in with a new roommate, and she decides that she is going to go back through the 10 men that she's dated, with like 3 exceptions that she like marked off the list, and try to have a second chance romance. So I'll have to come back and see my thoughts on that one. That's the one. For the second K, I don't currently own this, but it is The Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty. This is the first one, The City of Brass. I read this in July and August, and I really enjoyed it. It has similar vibes to An Ember in the Ashes, but this is an adult fantasy and is more, I would say, more politics focused. I had a really good time with this. So I gave this one 4 out of 5 stars, and I really like to finish this series this year just to keep it fresh in my brain. So I would like to read the second one this month. I'm hoping to get it for my birthday, but that's a little risky because my birthday is at the end of the month, and that's a hefty book till the end of the month. For the second N, I will be reading Night Film by Marisha Pessel. This is like a mystery thriller. I'm pretty sure it's a thriller about this film director who has like this really big following, but he's very private, and something happens to his daughter, and they suspect that it has something to do with his films and like the following that he had. For O, I will be reading One of Us is Dead by Geneva Rose. I saw this on TikTok a while ago. It's been on my TBR. I'm pretty sure it's a thriller, mystery situation. I don't know anything about the plot. Nothing about the plot, but I do know that I bought it on sale, on a Kindle sale, so I'm gonna read it. For W, I am going to read The Wrath of the Dawn. Finally, this effing book has been on my TBR since the inception of my reading days in 2015, okay? I don't think I said who this is by. This is The Wrath of the Dawn by Renee Ahdieh. I feel like y'all probably know because it's a very popular book, and it's been a very popular book for like 8 years. Oh my god, I'm old. The fact that that was 8, I can't even, the passage of time. I couldn't really tell you what it's about, but I know it's a fantasy. It's a YA fantasy. I hear there's a good romance in it. That's all I need. The final book. And this is embarrassing that I haven't read this, okay? my defense, I didn't read the Grisha trilogy until like 2 years ago because I'm the worst. And I didn't really like it that much. Like, it was fine. Okay, but it would have been better if, what's his name? Mal? If Mal wasn't in it. I don't even think that's his name, but I don't like him. Anyway, I tried to read this before I read the Grisha trilogy like a couple years before, but I started reading it and I was so confused. And really my main motivation for this is I want to watch the Netflix series because I love Ben Barnes and I want to watch him in it. And I don't want to get spoiled for the book because I know I want to read the book eventually because people love this book and I want to love this book, but I just haven't read it. So I own both in the duology, and they've been on my TBR for so long, like probably as long as the Wrath and Dawn, honestly, and it's kind of ridiculous. And I just want to read them, and just so I can say like if I know that I like them or not, and then just move on. You know, like I really don't know if I'm gonna like this because but people say that it's better than the Grisha trilogy, so I have hope. So we'll see. But as soon as I read this and Crooked Kingdom, I can watch the effing TV show and thirst after Ben Barnes. So that's all I want in life. That's all I want. And y'all know what this is about. It's another heist book. You know, that's all I know about it. A heist, found family, fantasy. Oh, that's good. I really want to watch the TV show. But I'm making myself read the book first because, okay. So that is all the books on my TBR for September. And you know what? We'll see if we get through them or not. I don't know. This is like my favorite time of the year because, you know, the pumpkin spice is out. It's birthday season at my house. We have the holidays coming up. Spooky season coming up. Can't wait for Christmas. I'm decorating November 1st. I've had my fall decorations up since the last week of July. That is how much I wanted this time of year. I'm very excited. I have lots of content ideas coming, so stay tuned and, you know, follow me on Instagram to keep up with my reading journey, and I will be back with either a vlog or a wrap up very soon. So love you, besties. Bye.